I'm here with Emily Jaehnig from Madison, Wisconsin. She is pulling double, triple duty this weekend. You are the swim captain for Ironman Wisconsin,
The lifeguard captain.
the lifeguard captain for Ironman Wisconsin, and you're racing in the event. Let's talk about your first responsibility, and that's this lifeguard captain. What's that involve?
So over the year, since we opened volunteer registration, we get people signing up for different positions. We have about 30 spots for lifeguards, 85 kayakers, about 30 motorboaters, and we're all part of the swim safety team. So I just kind of communicate with those lifeguards, make sure they have their certifications, and then we have two swim volunteer meetings where we kind of go over our rescue plan and how we're going to be stationed out on the water.
Now, you were telling me on the phone before that you kind of go over and beyond what's necessary for all in the sake of safety.
Yeah, we really do. Even the Ironman truck that comes here doesn't have enough rescue tubes for the number of lifeguards we put out on the water, so we have to borrow from like the city of Madison or whoever will, loan us some items. But we just do that because we don't want to be at the minimum standards. We want to have extra people out there. And with the one loop swim this year, we really are spread a little bit thinner, so we have more volunteers than we really need.
How'd you become this lifeguard captain in the first place? Because people volunteer, but that's kind of a high position.
So a few years ago, probably about 5 years ago now, I was a lifeguard for the city of Madison on the beaches out here, and at the end of the summer, they were looking for lifeguards to work for Ironman, and volunteer. So I signed up to do that, and then at the end of the week, Jason, the swim captain, sent out an email saying, "Hey, our lifeguard captain wants to race next year, and she doesn't want to, do both jobs. So is there anybody that'd like to be a captain next year?" And I was like, "Hey, that sounds cool. I love being involved in Ironman stuff." So I said, "Yeah, I'll do it." So I've had the job since then. This is my 4th year.
So how do you take on that task? The person you took over for was racing and said, "No, I can't do it." But you said, "Okay, I can do it and I can race."
Well, I've been doing it for a while now, and the other swim captains, were like, "Well, you've got it down, so just find someone to do your job the day of." So we have another experienced lifeguard that's come back year after year, and she's gonna just kind of organize everyone in the morning, make sure they get their equipment and get out on the water.
So for people who don't know, if you do volunteer for an Ironman race, you get first crack at signing up the next year. And this race sold out in about 21 hours last year. So you had a prime spot. Was that part of the motivation?
Yeah, it always is. And some of the race directors are always kind of pushing people like, "Come on, when are you going to do it?" Yeah. So, and it does help, I think, to have the majority of the captains be experienced in racing this course, because you get a ton of questions from athletes and other volunteers, and it's just, I've been here long enough. I've ridden my bike on the course like every year for many years, so it's like, okay, it's time to do it.
So this will be your first time doing Ironman Wisconsin. Will it be your first time doing an Ironman? It is. Wow.
I've done 3 half Ironmans, 2 this year. So, but I'm a runner. My background is running. I ran in college, and I swam a little because I've been a lifeguard for a long time, but I never put it all together until a few years ago. I started just doing local triathlons. So.
How are you wrapping your head around the fact that you're part of this you're a captain for the lifeguard group here in the morning on Sunday, but then also you're going to have a swim cap on, you're going to have goggles on, you're going to be out there?
Yeah, the other swim captains have done a good job telling me, like, you don't need to come to this or that. We got it all covered. Just, take care of yourself and have a good race. And the overall swim captain, Jason, he works at some of the other Ironman races I've done, and he always says, stop and say hi to me on the swim now, and he always complains that I've never actually looked for him.
Well, what about race support for you on a personal level out on race day this Sunday?
My parents are going to be out there. My mom made some T-shirts because we decided printing them it was a little expensive. And my boyfriend, who's done the last 2 Ironman Wisconsins, will be out there too. And he's been a really great help teaching me and, open water swimming with me, and just yeah. And then a lot of my friends and coworkers, usually I get kind of weird looks at work, when I explain what I did over the weekend, and but it was really sweet. I had a card and just like about 20 emails, like just wishing me good luck, and just they were so proud of me, and they were gonna be out here and watching me and cheering. So it was cool.
Well, you have a lot to be proud of, just to take on this commitment to take an Ironman, and then it's in your own backyard. That's got to be even extra exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The bike course, I can get to it within 5 miles of my house, and the run course is about 2 miles from my house. So I am on these streets on a daily basis pretty much, and yeah, I'm really excited for that aspect.
Emily Jaehnig from Madison, Wisconsin. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.